Hello and welcome to the bonus episode of the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This one here is just a little check-in just to get some dates out, and I've got a guest here today with Cy Fahey.
Hey man, how you going?
Good man, it's good to have you back on the show. First time I've had someone back from the first few.
I'm glad I'm a repeat customer.
Yeah man, well, you know, it's hold the first few episodes close to our chest, you know,
Yeah.
First 5, you're in that early stages. So
mine was a short one too, so I'm just making up for it.
Oh yeah,
that was a short episode.
That's right. Yeah, you only got one stamp on your card.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, like when you buy coffee, you get the stamp.
I get 3 more stamps, and I get a prize or something like that.
You get a free one. Oh man, but yeah, we been doing a few mics around town, and coming into February, we've got a few on the books. So we're kicking off on the 12th with White Rabbit.
White Rabbit is back down there in Civic, which is I really like that venue. Hey man, it's such a great sort of space for comedy. And,
yeah, it's got like the sunken lounge
room.
Yeah,
the sunken lounge, the whole cocktail bar. Like, it's like comedy with class. But, like it's intimate, but it's it's a really good space, man.
It's comfy, man. Like a lot of the time when you doing comedy, you like to see people lounging back, chilling out. And that's one of the things I dig about White Rabbit is, there's good drinks and people are just hanging out listening to comedy. They look relaxed.
Yeah, it's right. I mean, it's hard to be tense in that area. Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head, like
it's kind of homely, you know what I mean?
Is.
Like like when you come home from a day of work and you just sit down, I know that's my thing lately. I've been getting in this habit of just coming home from work, sitting down, and just like falling asleep instantly. Like I'll be like, I'm not going to sleep. I'm just going to sit down for a sec. I'll wake up like an hour later. They're like, Netflix has already done the like, do you want to keep watching?
Are we checking in on
you? Yeah. That's my version of Netflix checking in on me.
How quickly can you fall asleep?
Dude, it's like instant. Do you get that?
Yeah, man. I'm actually, that's why I'm interested, because I have a superpower. And that is, my superpower is I can fall asleep in my work truck.
Yeah.
Like in full daylight, in under a minute. Like, and this is even
while it's in neutral.
Yeah, while it's in neutral. Yeah, while I'm just rolling down the street. That's good. That's called a microsleep. It's really dangerous. No, but like literally, because we have to have legal breaks, and so when I pull over, I'm not just going to sit there and do nothing. Like you are going to twiddle my thumbs.
Yeah.
So I literally set my alarm for 15 minutes, and I literally just kick the seat back. And I crash out, and I can fall asleep and wake up and have a full REM inside of
like deep sleep.
Yeah, I'll actually wake up half the time with like 20 seconds counting down on the clock and stuff.
Oh, your body knows.
Yeah, it's like a full superpower, man. Like I just like. So I'm always interested because other people are like, I can't fall asleep. I'm like, man, no, like
it's easy.
It's easy. You just close your eyes. You go to sleep.
You've like trained your body to sleep in brackets.
In brackets, yeah.
Dude. That is a superpower.
It's a superpower, man. Like when the zombie apocalypse comes, I'm gonna be ready, man. I'll be like up in the trees, just like
Well, because like if this is zombie apocalypse, you don't want to sleep for 8 hours. There's a lot of things that could happen.
No, that's right. No, you want to just like military style, just get it in there.
Yeah, that's efficient.
Yeah,
that's like sniper style, man. You know how they have to camp out for ages.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you just crash out. Like, have you ever? I'm going on a complete tangent here, but you ever heard of polyphasic sleeping?
No. Is that like where you have one sleep, but you see another sleeper on the side? Like, and you're both aware of it, and it's like an open sleeping
It's like
pattern.
An open sleeping arrangement, yeah. You got a king-size bed with 3 pillows.
It's a poly-sleeping arrangement.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you want to come sleep at my house?
Yeah. Oh, man, no, I'm in a...
Monoga sleeping.
Yeah, monogamous.
A monoga sleeping.
Monoga sleeper. No, so anyway, what is it?
Essentially is what I kind of do is essentially you need to get 8 REM sleeps every day. Or is it 8 or 6? Anyway, I think it's 6 actually. 6 REMs a day, and you can actually, if you train your body the way I have, and there was a guy who did it, and he would sleep for 15 minutes every 2 hours. And that's how he lived his life for like a year. And he reckons he was the most efficient, never felt tired. And the only reason why I stopped doing it after a year is because he was sick of being awake when everyone else was asleep in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Because there's just no one to talk to. My whole family was asleep. And he was like pumping out books, and like he was like super efficient and like just living his best life.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's just like, there was just no one to talk to.
Dude, that's where like when I was living in a share house for a little while.
Yeah.
And I was bartending at the time. It was my only job.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, dude, whenever I went to sleep, that was when my day started.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd come home from work, everyone would be asleep. I'd be just, I'd be listening to podcasts, doing things on the computer, just like getting my day's work done while everyone else isn't there to like talk to me. I just don't know why he had such a good superpower and he chose not to use it.
Yeah, man. You could
like he finally perfected the art of being able to do stuff in solitude.
Yeah, yeah.
And because normally when I think like 3 a.m, right, I'm thinking people are going to be tired.
Yeah.
But this dude was equally awake as 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Like,
just bang. So he'd crash out. 15. He'd do 20 minutes every 2 hours.
Imagine if
like his thing.
Exercise was like that.
Yeah,
like instead of just going to the gym for like an hour, like every once a day.
Yeah.
Like every 15 minutes you did like 10 push-ups, and then like the next hour you did like 10 star jumps.
Yeah. Look, man, it'd probably work. Hey,
it's like the sleep microdose.
Yeah.
Versus the exercise microdose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd probably work.
Man, just topping up on the exercise there. All right, so that's White Rabbit on the 12th.
That's White Rabbit. Only 4 more to
go. We got Basement on the 20th of February, so it's normally on the third Tuesday of every month, but for February it's on Monday the 20th.
Yep.
So that one there's just a little bit different due to scheduling. They need to change it up a little bit.
Someone more important than you came along.
Hey? Yeah. Well, someone louder than me came along.
Yeah. No, that's definitely
It's all about decibels here, and
that's why I thought about doing a show at the basement, but I was just like, nah. You put a band in another room. Yeah. It doesn't matter how good your soundproofing is. A comedy show is just going to be drowned out.
Absolutely, man. It's one of those things where it's like you could be lucky enough to land it on a night where there's no band in the main room if you just want the back room.
Yeah.
And normally if it's 2 bands, it's okay because they're both
they've got
pretty
that
loud
sound to compete with each other.
But you don't want to be trying to do talking while there's like a death metal band playing next door.
You get to your punchline and you just hear the background, oh, fuck your mother! Like, yeah, well, that just fucked up the flow of that joke.
It would suck if that was also your punchline. Like you're just getting heckled by Cannibal Corpse. Like a Cannibal Corpse cover band, obviously. They wouldn't have the real Cannibal Corpse there just yet at that capacity, but they'll bring the capacity up one day. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a band called Cattle Decapitation playing there.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah, and actually, this is my idea that I put through to the kitchen there.
Yeah.
Cattle Decapitation, everyone in the band is vegan.
You serious?
No joke. Dude, so I have an idea for a new...
That is like the best and the worst thing at the
I know,
same
right?
time.
Dude, and they're rad, dude. Like, there's a
I bet they are,
rad band with cool music and shit. I love
yeah.
it. But the idea was to have a vegan burger called the Cattle Free Capitation.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a good name.
That's a good ploy.
Yeah, it's got a good ring to it, man.
Makes you wonder, how do they name these bands? I don't know. If you're ever going to have...
There is an online random name generators. Have you ever seen any of those?
No.
Like, I think there's like a Wu-Tang one. There's like a Wu-Tang rap name generator. I'm pretty sure that's how Post Malone got his name.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he actually just used that.
Yeah, bang.
I might be wrong, but that's a good story.
Hey, if you had to name a death metal band, what would you name it? You've probably named one anyway.
The Violent Smurfs.
The Violent Smurfs.
No joke. Like 2008, the first band I was ever in, bro.
Yeah,
Violent
nice.
Smurfs. We just played Nirvana covers. I was on bass, man. I knew like I knew the basic chords for "Smells Like Teen Spirit." We also did a we used to like
Smurfs Like Teen Spirit.
That's it. Smurfs. Yeah, we had to change the names for legality. But we
about a Smurfette.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd probably call
Underneath
mine
the Smurf.
I'd probably call mine, I don't know, the Bloody Foreskins or something like that.
Yeah.
Just go something savage. You know?
Yeah,
So,
well, I feel like a lot of the rough names are taken. Like,
yeah, well, that's right. I mean, you got Megadeth and Metallica and
yeah, all.
Is it
Did it
like I know it's Metallica and I'm a big fan, but was it actually supposed to be Metallica? Like, is that like, that's whenever I read it, I'm like, I get it, and I love Metallica, but
Imagine if they got the artwork back and they're like, oh, well, we'll just go with that.
Yeah, we'll just go with that. Yeah,
Yeah, like, we already paid this guy to do the art. But, dude, imagine how funny it would be if there was, like, a band that didn't know Metallica existed.
Yeah.
Like, just some underground metal band in, like, a remote section of the world that had...
So in Queen, yeah?
Yeah, something like Queen, somewhere where they're, like, only just getting into electricity. And they thought that Metallica was a good name for a band.
Yeah.
And, like, were gigging and stuff. And before they realised that, that's already taken.
Oh, that'd be like... Wow, you'd feel so dumb. It'd be like Billy and the Clonosaurus all over again. What were you thinking?
Well, I've had good ideas for, like, comedy nights and stuff where I've looked up and they're, like, names of existing, like, podcasts and stuff. Like, when it come time to naming my podcast, that's why I basically just went with my name.
Yeah.
It's because any of the cool ones I came up with were kind of already taken.
Yeah. It's like there's only so many great ideas in the world, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've had ideas for, like, certain comedy events.
Yeah.
Like what I wanted to call them. I know you've got 15 Minutes of Fame, which is a rad name.
Yeah.
There was Capital Punishment, which used to be...
Well, yeah, it actually used to be a show that they did.
Yeah.
Like the Canberrans used to go to Melbourne Comedy Festival and did a show there. And obviously it's called Capital Punishment because they're from the capital. But now obviously they've got another one running around by the same name essentially, but it's Capital Punishment.
Yeah,
so
right.
So
I was told, I think when I was talking to Greg Kimball, he was talking about Capital Punishment.
Yeah.
And it came up, and then I'm like, oh, it's still a thing, but it's not the same thing as it used to be.
Yeah. Still a name, but not the same. And like obviously the from my understanding, I can only assume this is how it went, is that the new Capital Punishment is a complete, like they thought of that on their own. It's a completely original thought they just happen to have.
Yeah, it's parallel thinking. It happens all the time with jokes. I was talking to a local comedian, him and I had a similar joke, but I stopped telling that joke before he started.
Yeah.
So there was no crossover. It just happened to be similar thinking.
Yeah, well, I've got a joke which I found. It's a joke I've been telling for God knows how long. And turns out that there's an American comedian called Tig Notaro who I'd never even heard of until I was told that our joke is identical because we both got short names.
Yeah.
So we both literally got the joke. It's not short for anything. It's long for, I say k and she says t.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Other than that, they're identical jokes.
Really?
But they're completely organic thoughts from both of us. Like,
yeah.
And it's just because we both got really short, snappy names where people obviously go... Because that's how I came up with mine, is people always go, oh, what's that short for? Well, it's not short for anything.
And she probably had the same thing.
Yeah, she probably had the same thing. And then one day, I literally... I still remember the day, in my head, like... I was actually at work and I was in, and some guy, what's that short for? And I just, out of nowhere, went, no, it's long for k. And then someone else heard me and they just started laughing their ass off.
So that's what
and I was just like,
joke in.
oh, I'm keeping that.
Keeping that one. We're talking before off mic about how often you come up with jokes and, like, I do this. I don't write them down.
Yeah.
And I kind of need another joke similar to jog my memory. Like, I'll be at a mic and I'll be like... But then you got to be careful that you don't write it too similar to the joke that helped you jog your memory.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So sometimes the first time I remember that I had a joke that was similar is when someone did the same joke. So I'm like, oh, well, I suppose I'll leave that.
Yeah, it's theirs now.
And you don't want to...
stole it.
Like, I've made the mistake of being like, oh, I used to do a joke like that. Because then it just seems like, well, were you going to keep doing it or can I have it?
Yeah,
like,
can I have that joke? Or
It's nearly like... That joke is like the TV when, like, someone falls asleep in front of it and you change the channel. Like, oh, well, I was using that joke.
I was watching that.
I was using that joke.
It's my joke. Okay, next event.
All right, so that's Basement. And then on the 26th of Feb, we got Boardwalk.
Boardwalk, and I am very excited about this one, and you're going to be joining me as a co-host because it's our 1 year anniversary. So it's be 1 year of Boardwalk, so we're going to get some balloons, some nibblies, probably chuck on, a couple of jugs or something like that. But no, I want to make a real event of it, so I'm looking like, I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah, it's been
since it started.
I remember when we, before Treehouse started, we were in scoping out venues, and Treehouse came up, which you'd already spoke about before that, but then I just, off the back of that, came in to scope it with you.
Yeah.
And that evolved into a room, and then now to know that Boardwalk is nearly a year on.
Yeah.
It's cool to see the evolution of the rooms in Canberra over the years.
Yeah.
I've spoke to I think I was talking to Greg about this in his episode, and we're talking about over the years different comedians that have come and gone, and also the rooms.
I mean, they bring rooms and take rooms, and also
it was with Greg because we're talking about the history and how a room kind of gets its own personality based on how long it's been running. It gets its own kind of crowd and its own...
becomes an institution.
Yeah, well, some comedians can only perform at a certain room because of where they live or what nights they get off, or work. Like, there are certain comedians that only perform at... there's some that perform only at the basement, some that perform only at
Smith's
or at... the Irish Club in Woden.
Yeah.
Because of where they live.
Yeah.
So it's cool to... And also, it could also be, like I said, what day they get off work. Some people only get, maybe Friday nights off, so they rarely get out to
they rarely get out there,
now they've got the front on a Friday night, which is cool. It's cool to have an open mic on a...
that's always...
on a school night.
That's always...
not on a school night.
That's always been, a goal, I guess, to try... But a lot of venues won't, because a lot of venues have obviously their own thing going on Friday night, and that generally brings in more money. So it's really hard to find a venue that's reluctant to give up a Friday for comedy, for open mic comedy.
Yeah.
So, So, but no, look. Anyway, it's gonna be a good one. And I remember the first one. We had 16 comedians and one audience member.
Yep.
And what did we have the other night? We had...
It felt
25, I think it was. 25 punters and 10, 12 comics or something like that. So
yeah, once you break the threshold of
more
50-50.
More 50 becomes so and it's steadily holding at that and slowly growing. We've had bigger nights, had a few smaller nights, but consistently we're getting at least 50-50 plus, in the favour of audience members. So no, it's really good. Hopefully, it'd be 1 year, and hopefully we'll go another year and
keep it going.
Just keep it going. It's such a great venue. Just in general,
the owner's really cool, man. The bar really nice. Staff really cool.
Yeah.
That I think we spoke about this previously as well. Like having a good owner, a good venue, people that are willing to be kind of more accommodating for comedy.
Yeah.
It helps out.
I reckon that's the only reason why Pete lets us be there is because he gets it. For him, it's just a free show.
Man, sometimes I've just looked over and he's laughing as much as anyone.
He loves it.
Absolutely
loves it.
I love it when I try a new bit and I see Pete or Dougie having a laugh because I'm like, they love that as a new bit as well. Yeah. Because they even if they've heard it or if I add something to an existing bit.
That's even I did the other night, and afterwards, Dougie's like, and he literally quoted that exact line. He goes, "That's a new line." Even though the rest of the joke was all the same, he's like, "That's a new line." I like it. That's sweet. So it's good for us too. They can critique our work almost for us.
It's like if someone hands you a fistful of change, but one of them's a foreign coin.
Yeah,
they just pull that one coin out, and they're just like, "Well, that's all good, but this bit I haven't seen that before."
So, but so that's the Boardwalk. Make sure to come down.
Come down. That one is also got the Boardwalk we mentioned before, 15 Minutes of Fame. That's another one at the same venue. How long's that been running for? 4 or 5?
4 or 5 months. So that's based on sort of something I used to do in Melbourne many moons ago, out at Court Courthouse Theatre. So, anyway, for La Mama, if you know Melbourne and stuff. Sadly, that burnt down actually a few years back. It was a heritage listed building. It's quite sad.
Right.
But so it's just something there. I brought it back, and it's because with 15 minutes, when people get 15-minute slots, and you've done it, you get that. When you got
time.
Yeah, it's when you got 5 minutes, you're trying to impress everyone really quickly, and you're kind of slamming through it. If you got half an hour and stuff, you can drag on, especially if you're sort of new to the longer time slot. So 15 gives people time to sort of play with the audience. You can even lose them a little bit and get them back. And like if you lose someone in 5 minutes, that's it. It's gone.
Yeah.
So it gives you a little bit of playroom, and you can sort of try longer form jokes. So it's not quite. Not necessarily like it's maybe not so sharp and punchy, but it's more enjoyable because they can create a world, they can create whereas so it's been on about 4 or 5 months, and it's going to be a really good one this month. We've got Chris Ryan and Tom Gibson and Bill Macon and Scott Hawkins. Is stepping up to the plate for his first 15 minute. Yeah, so that's going to be his first more than
5 minutes set.
More than 5 minute set. So.
I still got a video of him at Young and Frisky, like soon after he started.
Yeah.
I got a couple of old school. I sometimes film some of the mics that I MC.
Yeah.
And if any of the comedians want me to film their set, I'll
do that.
That as well. And I think I got some of Scott. I got some of Dylan Holmes at Phoenix.
Nice.
When he first started up. Like I don't think it was his first set, but it was within the first, second or third.
Yeah.
It's cool to have that little bit of history behind the sets, and also it's good to see like the comparison. Because when you're doing it, you might be like, oh, it's slightly better. But then after a while, you're like, if you compare it to the first set and your last one, you're like, man. Even sometimes I'll bring a joke back.
Yeah.
Like I'll try a joke out. It didn't work that well. I'll keep it in my notes, and then like when I learn how to deliver it better, I might bring it back, or I might have another joke that couples well with it. I'll be like, that's a good. I can steal that punchline and put it onto this new joke.
Yeah, man, that's how you got to play it. Like, I've actually got a joke which I used to perform 10 years ago, which I've actually thinking about the other day, like digging it out, and because I used to perform it 10 years ago, but I performed it, like you said, like not well.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, you know what? I reckon I'm old enough to tackle, like I'm mature enough to tackle that joke now, because it's like a full 5 minute bit.
Yeah.
And I did it once under contract, and so I had to do it. So I learned it. I was never really truly comfortable with performing it.
Yeah.
And but I reckon now I can bring it back and actually make some of the tweaks, so it can be a solid bit that I'm actually happy to deliver.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
dude, it's like I reckon it's nearly like the movie Avatar.
Yeah.
The script was written 10 years prior.
But
the technology.
He's waiting for technology to catch up.
To actually make it.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're like, oh, we got this really cool script, but technology can't.
Yeah, but we don't have 3D cameras that can make.
So we're gonna have to shelf it until they come up with a better way.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
So
I didn't know that.
That's like, it's like the joke, man. I've got jokes that I wrote.
Yeah.
Before I did comedy, I wrote every thought I had down for 18 months.
Wow.
And I boiled that down to 5 minutes and did it on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
And then chucked that notebook in a filing cabinet, and then started writing new material from then on.
Yeah.
So I still have all those
maybe, man.
little premises written down.
A few years' time, whatever, go back and,
go back and realise how terrible they were.
Dude. I watched a video from 2012 once, and I think it's the worst. It really is the worst.
Yeah. But you know what, man? I'm hoping that, like, although I look at my old sets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I came a long way since then. Like, that joke's developed or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully I can look back at the sets I'm doing now in 3 years' time and say the same thing.
Yeah, man. Hopefully.
Hopefully, but probably.
Keep trying, keep growing. It shouldn't be any problem.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, that's the that's the boardwalk.
That's the boardwalk.
But dude, thanks for coming on the show and hyping some dates. We were meant to go on radio, but the announcer wasn't available for this show, so hopefully we'll be able to just get the message across through this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the episode for And if you have any recommendations, questions, anything like that, I'm going to start incorporating like a section of the show for emails.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to send anything in, I'm going to chuck the email address below. So make sure you hit me up. And until next time, I'll catch you guys around. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you.